Hello everybody, welcome to KPIS Delhi's C.A.R.E initiative, Current Affairs through Reverse Engineering. This is Varsha. Let us go through the first article for the day. Cannot legalize same-sex marriage, says SC bench. A majority opinion of the 5-judge Constitution bench says only the legislature can recognize such marriage. This is point number 1. And second, and courts cannot interview. This is point number 2. And it adds there is no fundamental right to marry. This is the third point. So these are the 3 main points which you have to remember and mug up for prelims. Now let us see the MCQ related to this question. Consider the following statements. Right to marry is a fundamental right protected by the Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. No, because we have already seen here that there is no fundamental right to marry. Okay, whereas right to choose a life partner is a fundamental right protected by Article 21 of the Constitution. This is correct, and it was already given in 2019. Which article of the Constitution of India safeguards one's right to marry the person of one's choice? It is Article 21. Alright, so the statement is absolutely true, and right to marriage is recognized under Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Yes, this is correct, and it is under Article 16 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Alright, so 2 statements are correct. Alright, yeah, and in the explanation part, right to marry is not a fundamental right in the pursuance of the power conferred by, Article 245, 246 and Entry 5 of the concurrent list. Now, what are these things? Entry 5 of the concurrent list deals with marriage and divorce. Article 245 talks about the extent of laws. Article 245 deals with extent of laws enacted by Parliament and state legislature, whereas Article 246 deals with the exclusive power of the Parliament to make laws on certain subjects and exclusive powers of the state legislature to make laws on some subjects. So concurrent list, union list and state list. Alright, yeah. So you need to be thorough with Article 245, 246 and Entry 5 of the concurrent list. Centralized procurement as a powerful health idea. So basically the entire article revolves around one idea, that is pooled drug procurement by central government. Pooled drug procurement by central government. Alright, why? Because there is always the advantage of cost effectiveness and bargaining power. Pooled procurement. Okay, yeah, now the MCQ related to this article. Consider the following. Whenever there is a statement like consider the following and nothing is given, you have to skip these 4 statements and read this. How many of the statements listed above are the functions of CDSCO, that is Central Drugs Standard Control Organization? Okay, otherwise you will waste time. And then come back to these 4 statements. Okay, before we get into this question, you have to understand that CDSCO is under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It is a national regulatory authority and it is headed by Drug Controller General of India, that is DCGI. Okay, and there is another authority, NPPA, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, and it is under a different ministry, that is Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. Okay, so this basically deals with pricing and stuff, whereas CDSCO deals with setting standards and taking care of such things. Alright, now coming back to the question. To sponsor relevant studies in respect to pricing is always NPPA related. So this is wrong. To monitor the availability of drugs, identify shortages and take remedial steps is also NPPA's function. So to collect and maintain data on production, exports and imports, market share of the individual companies, profitability. See, it is all dealing with money, right? So it is again NPPA. To render advice to the central government on revisions in drug policy. No. So none. Now what are the functions of CDSCO? So basically CDSCO, primary function is to set standards. Alright, and how does it do that? By conducting clinical trials properly and approving drugs and banning some drugs that are not meeting the standards, taking care of imports, standards of imports, and it will also, to maintain uniformity in the country, it will also coordinate with the state drug standard control organizations. All right, yeah. Next article. When tigers and jackals get the same protection. So this entire article deals with Wildlife Protection Act and the schedules in it. This is very, very important for prelims. Please go through it very, very thoroughly. Consider the following. Okay. How many of the species above is or are listed under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972? Okay, in this article they mentioned that spotted deer is also in Schedule 1, but it's not. It is in Schedule 2. And Indian hedgehog is also in Schedule 2, whereas sloth bear and jackal are in Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Please read this thoroughly. Link for the document is given in the PDF. Please go through that. Alright, so it's B. Previous year question. Consider the following: flying squirrels, porcupines, barking deer. Which of the above is or are naturally found in India? See, all three are found naturally in India, so answer is D. Next, strengthened human rated rocket is ready for Gaganyaan. See, when it comes to Gaganyaan, you have to remember few things, that there will be a crew, 3 members, and they'll be taken to lower Earth orbit, which is 400 kilometers away for 3 days, and then they'll make a safe landing. Alright? Yeah. Now, the MCQ. Consider the following statements with regard to launch vehicle MK3, Mark 3. Okay. How many of these statements are correct? It is capable of placing 4-ton class satellites. Yes. It is powered by CE-20, India's largest cryogenic engine. Yes. It is configured as 3-stage vehicle with 2 solid and 1 liquid. Yes, 3-stage because it's in the name itself. Alright. So this is also correct. C is the answer. What is the previous year question related to this? With reference to India's satellite launch vehicles, consider the following statements. PSLVs launch the satellites useful for Earth resources monitoring, whereas GSLVs are designed mainly to launch communication satellites. Yes, GSLVs and communication satellites go hand in hand. Satellites launched by PSLV appear to remain permanently fixed in the same position in the sky as viewed from a particular... No. That is the basic difference, right? No. And GSLV, so first statement is correct, second statement is wrong. So B and C are gone. B and C are gone. So first statement is correct, right? This is also gone. You don't need to read third statement. But for your clarity, we will read it. GSLV Mark 3 is a 4-stage. No, GSLV Mark 3. 3 means 3-staged. So be very, very conscious when you're reading the question. Next article. President gives away film awards. Actor Wahida Rahman gets Phalke Award. Allu Arjun, Alia Bhatt also got awards. So what is the question here? Consider the following statements. Directorate of Film Festival is mandated to organize International Film Festival of India. Actually, if it was given before 2022, if the statement was given before 2022, it would have been correct. But now it's wrong because there's some other body that is doing it. See, Organization of Film Festivals, that was the mandate of Directorate of Film Festivals, has been transferred to NFDC. Okay. NFDC is National Film Development Corporation of India. Okay, so currently NFDC is doing this. So this is wrong. Nargis Dutt and Uttam Kumar were the first to receive Best Actor and Actress awards under the National Film Awards. Yes. Wahida Rahman was awarded with the Dada Saheb Phalke Award at the 69th National Film Awards. Yes, so only 2 statements are correct, not 3. Consider the following statements. This is the previous year question. Hema Malini is the chairperson of the Children's Film Society of India. No, she was not back then. Yash Chopra is the chairman of the Central Board of Film Certification of India. Dilip Kumar, Raj Kapoor and Dev Anand have all been recipients of Dada Saheb Phalke Award. Yes. See, third statement is correct. So answer D is right. Coal Secretary releases Provisional Coal Statistics 2022-2023. Alright. Now what is the previous year question or the MCQ that we can expect? Yeah. Consider the following statements with regard to coal in India. Coal India Limited is the largest producer of coal in India. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Tamil Nadu is the largest producer of lignite coal in India. Yes. See, there are types of coal. Okay. Peat, lignite, bituminous, and anthracite. Alright. So, in this order, the quality of coal will be increasing. And lignite type of coal, Tamil Nadu is the largest producer. Alright, yeah. Jharkhand is the largest producer of coking coal in India. Yes. For the year 2022-2023, the largest source of coal imports was from Indonesia. Yes. So the order is Indonesia, followed by Australia, South Africa, USA, and Russia. This is the order. Indonesia, Australia, South Africa, USA, and Russia. Okay, suppliers to India. Coal suppliers to India. So all the four statements are correct. And UPSC previous year question. Consider the following statements. Coal sector was nationalized by Government of India under Indira Gandhi. Yes, through Coal Nationalization Act 1973. That is on 1st May 1973. This is correct. So this is correct, this is correct. These two are wrong. Now coal blocks are allocated on a lottery basis. No, not on lottery basis. See, to private companies, they are allocated by a screening committee. Alright. And to government companies, ministry will directly make the allocations. So there is no concept of lottery. Second statement is wrong. So this is gone. One is the correct answer. Now you don't need to read the third statement because only through 1 and 2 you will get the answer. There will be some questions in your question in mains exam. Repeat from there will be some questions. So there will be such questions in your actual paper 2 of this model. Yeah, next. India arms of 1,000 MNCs asked to pay GST on expat salaries. Tax demands for 18% GST range from 1 crore to 150 crore. Okay. What is the MCQ? Consider the following statements. The government levies a GST of 18% for supplying manpower to a person, business, central or state ministry. Yes. GST is not applicable on rendering manpower services to panchayat or municipality. Yes. There is no GST when you're supplying manpower services to panchayat or municipality. So both the statements are correct. Explanation. The government levies a GST of 18% for supplying manpower to a person, business or even the central or the state ministry. These manpower services can be of various types such as drivers, clerical staff, data entry operators, housekeeping services, security services and so on. However, according to Articles 243G and 243W of the Indian Constitution, you will not have to pay a GST on rendering manpower services to panchayat or municipality. This is very, very important. 243G and 243W, you have to remember that. Now the previous year question. Consider the following items. Cereal grains hulled, chicken eggs cooked, fish processed and canned, newspapers containing advertising material. Which of the above items are exempt under GST? This was asked in 2018. Okay. Cereal grains and hulled, yes. Chicken eggs cooked, yes. Fish processed and damaged, no. 1 is correct. 2 is correct. So the answer can be between C and D, but let's check because 3 is wrong, 1 to 4 is the answer. Next, Lok Sabha Speaker refers complaint against Moitra to ethics panel. Alright, so Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has referred BJP MP Nishikant Dubey's complaint against Trinamool Congress member Mahua Moitra to ethics committee. Dubey has accused Moitra of taking bribes from a businessman to ask questions in parliament and urged Birla to constitute an inquiry committee to look into the charges against her. This phenomenon is not new actually. It has been happening, and cases like Note for Vote, all these were in news for some time, and now this is again in news. So from prelims perspective, we are supposed to read about the ethics committee. Alright, consider the following statements with regards to ethics committee of Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha ethics committee for the first time was constituted in the same year as the Lok Sabha ethics committee. No, actually Rajya Sabha's ethics committee was constituted in 1997, whereas the Lok Sabha ethics committee was constituted later point of time. Okay. Rajya Sabha Ethics Committee consists of 10 members to be nominated by the chairperson of the House. 10 members, chairperson, yes. It tenders advice to members from time to time on questions involving ethical standards, either suo motu or on receiving specific requests. Absolutely. So 2 statements are correct. So B is the answer. Now the previous year question related to it with reference to Parliament of India, which of the following parliamentary committees scrutinizes and reports to the House? Scrutinizes and reports to the House whether the powers to make regulations, rules, sub-rules, bylaws, etc. conferred by the Constitution or delegated by the Parliament are being properly exercised by the Executive within the scope of such delegation. So, Committee on Subordinate Legislation does this. Now, next article. Africa cooks pressure on tur, that is tur dal, prices on boil. Some Mozambique traders holding cargo to ransom in bid to artificially raise price. This is a very, artificial method, or say a method to increase the prices. Now, the MCQ. Consider the following statements. Gram and lentil are native to Indian subcontinent. Tur is the highest produced pulse crop. No, it's not. Gram and lentil are native to Indian subcontinent. No. Let us see the explanation. According to the Directorate of Economics and Statistics, the share of pulse production was comprised of tur 15.34, gram is 49.29. Green gram is just 10.04. Urad, black gram and lentil are given. A number of pulse crops are grown in India and world. Among the crops, major ones are gram, lentil, pigeon pea, lentil, field peas, etc. According to history, the origin of gram is in Southwest Asia. See, this is the catch. Probably Afghanistan and Persia. Pigeon pea in Africa, lentil in Turkey to South Iran, and field peas in Mediterranean region of Southern Europe and Western Asia. Alright, now again we'll get back to the MCQ. So this is wrong because already you've seen the explanation. And tur is the highest produced pulse crop in India. No. So neither one nor two. Now we'll come to the previous year question. With reference to pulse production in India, consider the following sentences. UPSC CSE 2020. It was given in 2020. Black gram can be cultivated as both Kharif and Rabi crop. Yes. In the cropping patterns and all. And also, this is a very basic question. So we'll learn it in different topics. Green gram alone accounts for nearly half of the pulse production. No, it is only a mere 10% or so. Yeah, it's merely 10%. So first is correct, second one is wrong. Second, when you know second is wrong, that's it, you got the answer, right? So whatever you know it very confidently, and it'll help you in prelims actually. Hadani and Hardenberg case. SEBI asks OCC-RP for documents. Now, what is this OCC-RP? You all know that Adani's case is happening. Now, what is this organization? It's based in US and it is alleging that Adani Group is involved in accounting frauds. All right. Okay. Now, OCCRP. Let's go through this article just to search what this is. OCCRP. OCCRP, which has cited these documents in the recent report on Ahmedabad-based conglomerate, has refused to provide them to SEBI. Okay. Here again it's mentioned OCCRP is a network of investigative reporters backed by the likes of US Department of State. Alright, so we got our see, already you know what is Adani Group, you know this case, you know almost like some or the other information about SEBI. Now what is a new term? It's OCCRP. So have focus on that. Let's solve the MCQ. Which of the following statements about the organized crime and corruption reporting project is accurate? Alright, so we've just seen, right, it is a network of investigative journalists. So option D is correct. Now, what is a similar PYQ? Doctors Without Borders, Medicine Sans Frontiers, often in news, is a non-governmental international organization and it was awarded the Nobel Prize in the year 1999. Next, UPSC mains questions. Yeah, how synergistic barriers are affecting the progress on SDGs. Synergistic barriers have come to the fore as the world is set to achieve only 15% of the 169 targets. Now, what is the gist here? Lamenting the lack of progress on various sustainable development goals, world leaders at the SDG summit once again reaffirmed their shared commitment to eradicate poverty and end hunger. Policy-making processes are generally robust, with a clear view on synergistic outcomes, especially when multi-stakeholder approaches to policymaking are practiced. However, simply recognizing intellects without a robust analysis and understanding of institutional barriers won't yield the outcomes countries desire. See, obviously, in every meeting they say the same thing, that we have a shared commitment to eradicate poverty and end hunger. But there are barriers, right? And there can be a probable means question. Examine the challenges and strategies for achieving sustainable development in a rapidly changing world. Okay. So here the keywords are examine and the challenges. One part is the challenges, and you have to challenges in rapidly changing world. All right, so now coming what dimensions you're supposed to take. One is the war and instability, then governmental priorities, then inequality and economic downturns affect the sustainable development. All right, you divide your answer into different dimensions, and first things first, now this is the hot topic, right? So you can write this because major economies of the world are directly or indirectly they are participating in the world. Russia and Ukraine, now Israel and Palestine, right? So yeah, you give examples also. All right, and in solutions, multilateral cooperation, tailoring programs, policy support and green initiatives, education and employment, diverse economies withstand global fluctuations. Yeah. Now let's move to the next article. Union Health Secretary delivers keynote address at the National Conclave on Augmented Zoonotic Diseases Surveillance at Human-Wildlife Interface. Alright, zoonotic disease is one of the areas of concern which is affecting the humans as well as the animal health. 75% of newly emerging infectious diseases that have affected people over the last 3 decades are zoonotic in nature. See, these facts can directly be written in the introduction part. Question. The rise in zoonotic diseases calls for a national action plan. Discuss the reasons for this increase and purpose measures for a comprehensive response. Zoonotic diseases, infections that transfer from animals to humans, have been on rise globally, posing significant threat to public health, ecosystems, and economies. See, when the question is about discuss, you will have to dump more information, right? And because there is, you have to kind of discuss, you have to write your answer in such a way that you are discussing with the fellow who's correcting your paper. Yeah, so he has to understand that one. Factors for zoonotic rise: human wildlife interaction, intensive livestock farming, globalization, climate change. So these keywords you are supposed to remember, and if you have to add examples for each of them. National Action Plan necessities, yes, because it's given, right. Discuss the reasons for increase and purpose of measures for a comprehensive response. So, yeah, purpose or necessities, all you have to write it here. Please go through this mains answer. That's it for today. All the best.